Let's go with the front design. You can see both are somewhat similar. The Model Y, as the smaller model, of course, also looks a little bit sleeker in the front. Daytime running light is in the top part here, whereas with the Model X, we have it here in the lower part, a little bit wider, and it looks a little bit stronger in the front, but both, of course, optimized for aerodynamic performance. The length at 4.75 meters or 187 inches for the Model Y, and the Model X is actually 31 centimeters or 12 inches longer at 5.6 meters or 199 inches. Wheels, by the way, with the X you go 20 inch or 22 inch here with the Plaid model, and with the Model Y you're always at 21 inch here with the Performance model. The Performance Model Y has here this small carbon fiber lip, whereas the Model X here has the bigger wing right there. And turning indicator comparison, a little bit wider for the bigger model, really small for the Model Y. Heading to the interiors here, door handles are different. This is the Model Y door handle. Like this you have, let's say, more physical contact. Inside of the doors, soft touch here in the top part. This is nice here, this matte wood insert, and then with the microfiber right here. I like it actually, and it's pretty clean indeed. And then minimalism is the theme of this interior steering wheel, just with the two buttons. And then here the seats, look at them, they are pure leatherette, either here in black or white is also possible. So the whole interior is animal-free. That's where Tesla is also among the leading brands indeed. Then seating comfort, the seat is not too large actually. This will also be a big difference to the Model X. Here with 1.89 meters or 6'2", size-wise it does work here with headroom and so on. Yeah, you sit comfortably, it's no problem. It's also soft enough. It's just that when you're tall, then you don't feel as the seat would be, ideal for you. I feel that it should be a little bit wider actually. We'll see how it plays out in the X very soon. Interior cockpit overview, I would like to know from you, is it cool and clean, or is it just not enough for you? Please tell me in the comments. Then you see the speed is just here, so there are no digital instruments whatsoever, just this 15-inch screen. The Model X, the screen is now a little bit bigger. I really love the matte wood here, but there's no combination, the matte wood and the white interior. That would be, I think, pretty cool indeed. Steering wheel here, very small indeed. And then you have, of course, everything in the screen here, also the climate control in the lower part. And then here you have two inductive chargers and more space than here in that middle console. Then infotainment up close. Cool things, of course, always this camera view right here to the sides, and this is the main camera view. Thing is that both Teslas, they just have Bluetooth connection to your phone, no Apple CarPlay, no Android Auto. I think that's a mistake. Tesla says, hey, our system is so cool, we don't need that stuff, but people want to use their CarPlay actually. Then you control everything from the car right here, and the car internal GPS is just right here. It is good, responsive, also has good guidance and so on. Second row, well, does fit, but nothing much more. And then headroom is actually also okay. Seating comfort overall fine. Of course, Tesla is using these, these dedicated EV platforms that you don't have any middle tunnel, and therefore you can also sit here in the middle part very well. Also, where you put your legs and so on. So this is indeed 5 adult proof. Accessing the Model X here, flush door handles as well, but then you don't have physical thing. And then here this automatic door opening, quite cool actually. And then you also have, yeah, this helping closing function. And then there is the soft close. So when I'm directly close here, it does also open. Yeah, it's not too hard, but you have to be aware of that. You shouldn't park them too close actually. Then inside here, soft touch materials. This is here all in white, but there's also a black styling available if you like. Model X, yoke steering wheel, so it's open top, but you can also go for a normal round one. I would advise you to go for that because parking in and out with grabbing over is kind of tricky indeed. But this is the spaceship actually style. Then here the seats, they are completely different. Look at that, they are more voluminous, have more bolstering here. Perforation as well for more passive ventilation, but also active ventilation possible. And white, black, or also beige style is available. And let's get inside, because the seating comfort indeed is just better with the Model X, especially if you're a little bit taller. Then they just hold you better. Actually, you can, at the same time move a little bit better. So It is just more comfortable in the front seating position. Headroom, also plenty available, no problem. So indeed, the seating comfort is definitely better here with the Model X. Interior cockpit overview of the Model X. Here, this 17-inch screen, so it's a little bit bigger. Once again, you can also have the normal steering wheel, but here with the yoke, you have to think that when you're parking in and out here, for example, you have to find a technique to grab over, like this, for example. So this will work for parking in and out, but I really have to say, you know, when you really go left and right and left again, this is more practical with the normal steering wheel. This is, however, in a way cool when you do like, you know, like this racing style, you know, while driving, then it's fun actually. And also here the turning indicators are on the steering wheel, and we also have the inductive charging pads. By the way, here the key card actually to drive the vehicle, you put them here instead of, you know, down there with the Model 3 and the Model Y. And then you can slide open this middle console, and also have cup holders here and more space. Build quality wise, basic, I would say. This is great. Nice. This is actually the Romance mode, and it not only does the visual thing, but you maybe also heard it on the microphone, it also boosts up the heating. And you can also do your gaming thing here with using your actual steering wheel then for this buggy racing. Yeah, it's really impressive. Maybe, you know, against some boredom when you are on the parking lot and waiting for someone or so. Putting in the gears works like this now. You swipe here forward because you have no stalk column left here, and then reverse for that. I don't think it's a good solution to do it in a touchscreen. There is also, at least in the US, this automatic program available that you don't have to do anything, that the car decides for itself. But I'm still not convinced how that is going to work. Maybe you can elaborate more on that. On this vehicle here, it does not work. And the alternative would be down here, that you select the gears right there. But these here, they only appear, so they disappear, and then they only appear when you once press it a little bit harder. And it's not that convenient to press it. Yeah, but that would be then the, you know, at least half alternative. Here you see, you have to really press deep in there. Again, not a convenient solution. Then the Falcon doors here, wing doors with the Model X. Always spectacular, but always useful. I'm not sure. And then this here is a 6-seater setup. The Plaid only comes as the 6-seater. It is cool also when you have kids and they go here in the middle and to the third row. That's actually quite cool, and you also have an easy entry here. However, space-wise, when I'm driving as a tall person, maybe there's even less. Okay, maybe I could put them a little bit more upright, but you don't have too much legroom here. You have to be aware of that. So that's where the Model Y just makes more sense in a way, also if you consider the vehicle length. But of course, these, you know, captain seats are just more interesting. But you might ask yourself if they have just done that for a show effect, because it's not that useful overall. But the seats themselves, they are also better, so they deliver you better seating comfort in the rear. Especially here, for example, on the co-driver side, I also have more space. That's just a cooler thing, definitely. And you also have this rear screen here in the Model X. Spectacular control of the air vents. This has been introduced with the recent facelift that also came with the Plaid models. Yeah, but that's also when you don't have physical controls, you know, then you do stuff like this. And here you can also watch YouTube, for example. And what would you watch on YouTube? Yes, of course, Autogefühl. And yeah, please subscribe if you haven't done so far, that you can also watch Autogefühl on your Tesla. Third seating row here. Well, it rather works for, let's say, children in between. So not that small that they need child seats, because there's no ISOFIX as well, but not that tall, but they're like, yeah, tall as me. So have to put my knees right here, otherwise not possible, maybe for shorter trips and so on. But it's still good to have the possibility. And frunk comparison, you can see here that also size-wise it makes sense in a way. Here the Model Y frunk is well usable, a very large frunk indeed, so they really know their stuff. But however, the one of the X is just bigger, and you can just put more stuff in. It also has this nicer fabric covering from the inside. Liter figure wise, the X of course leads it, especially in the 5-seater configuration. The Plaid model only 6-seater configuration. Yeah, around 2,600 liters max, 2,200 liters max approximately. Let's go. 150. 200 kilometers an hour. Woo! Well, that takes time to decelerate again, but wow, that was decently quick, definitely. Yeah, definitely a lot of fun. The suspension here on the motorway, you feel especially the bumps, definitely. So, because you have no air suspension here, so that becomes obvious already here. Steering actually, it's very direct input, so it has actually no room to fail. So you have to be very gentle with the steering wheel. What I like here in the sport setting, actually, you have a little bit more resistance in the steering wheel. And that is actually a setting I would probably be driving with all the time. So that is actually very good. But here, I think it feels really agile. You feel that it is a little bit smaller vehicle. It somehow feels more direct overall, just from the weight and the steering input and so on. So the Model Y, I can already tell you so far, is maybe not as quick as the Model X, but it definitely feels sporty in a way that you can better throw it around, and it just physics, when it's smaller and a little bit less in weight, the battery is also smaller, it just feels more agile, and that also is a lot of fun actually. Ooh, let's see. Oh, whoa. Plop, that's 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles an hour. Yeah, substantially quicker. Whew, yeah, so that is a big difference indeed. Also, this panoramic windscreen, I think it's really cool. You see so much from the sky, this more open atmosphere. I really love that. The yoke steering here on the motorway is actually totally okay. That's not the problem. Suspension, the thing is here, you feel you have the air suspension when you're going over some waves. So there, for example, you have some height difference on the road, and then it is evened out by the air suspension. That is giving you more comfort. At the same time, we have the 22-inch wheels here, and they transport small bumps from the road into your car. So if you want most comfort, you would go with the X with the air suspension, but then stick with the 20-inch wheels and don't opt for the 22-inch wheels. Then you will have even more comfort than in the Model Y. What's your take on that? It was a very interesting comparison. We have more for you. Tune in now.